Goldminded Records, they're not your friends.
What up, it's Klive Kraven. I'm back again with a brand new video. This time, a new episode of Versus. That's right, taking two different movies that are very similar by audiences, fans, movie lovers alike, and comparing them and breaking them down. So what two films are we looking at today? We decided to go under into the water, into the Great Barrier Reef, and look at two classic shark films that I highly enjoy, both of them for their own reasons. So, let's get right into it. What are they? They are the original classic, Jaws, versus the modern classic, Deep Blue Sea. Let's go ahead and get into it. First, we're going to go ahead and look at the original, Jaws. I've seen this in its entirety for its first time recently. I've seen parts of this film through the years, but never from the beginning to the end. And just in the last week, I finally got the chance to check it out fully. Great film, really enjoyable, good suspense. For the year, the shark looks amazing. The effects are great. I believe this is a Spielberg film. Yeah, Spielberg's film. And just an absolute gem. I do love this film. I love the acting, the characters. You got a young Richard Dreyfuss in this. Just a very, very cool flick. You know, I like everything about it. I like, you know, watching the barrels get followed around when we see the shark moving. I think that's a cool concept of a way to track it and see where it's at. Just a really, really enjoyable film overall. I really did like this. Even the ending and how it turns out is a great ending. You know, I love the end scene with the, you know, blowing up the tank in its mouth. Just, yeah, an absolute classic. I know I'm probably giving this away, but, you know, I'm probably one of the few that hasn't seen Jaws, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, this is an absolutely phenomenal film. It runs a little over 2 hours. It was surprisingly long, but very enjoyable. It doesn't really get boring or seem like it's you know, lagging in pace. It's a little slow to get started, but other than that, once it gets going, it really gets into it. Yeah, I really enjoy this film. Love Jaws. Now, looking at the other side of the table, we have a modern shark film that I enjoy. I thought it had a pretty good cast. The effects are great. The kills are pretty good in it. Enjoyable film, and that is Deep Blue Sea. I liked a lot of stuff about this. Yes, the sharks are CGI and it's computer generated, computer effects, but they're done really well. It's not low quality CGI. It's very, very well done. It seemed like this movie came out with Lake Placid and a lot of the other giant monster movies that they were doing, like aquatic monster movies at the time. Anaconda, Lake Placid, Deep Blue Sea, all these giant monster movies kind of came out in the same era. And this is one of the last ones that came out, and it was a shark film. And I just really enjoyed it. You know, Samuel L. Jackson gets killed in this in a very awesome way. Everybody that's seen this already knows how that goes down. The sharks are smart in this. They're violent. They're aggressive. I like that. I like that they're educated. Excuse me. I think it's very cool that they're not just your run-of-the-mill shark that'll just fucking, you know, act on, you know, primordial instinct, that actually has an intelligence level and understands what's going on and computes the situation. I think that's very, very cool and makes it that much more scary because you're dealing not with just a crazy animal, but an animal that can actually think and manifest thoughts. That is fucking creepy. So yeah, I just really enjoyed this film. Great gore, great effects, you know, pretty cool story. The characters and acting is not bad. You know, we got Samuel L. Jackson in there. Overall, I just really enjoyed this film. Now, when we take a look at both of these and we have to compare them, Jaws and Deep Blue Sea, I know there's a lot of people that are going to say that, well, Jaws is an absolute classic, it's a staple. There's others that are going to say that, well, the effects aren't as good as they are in Deep Blue Sea, even though it's CGI. The deaths and kills are a little bit better. It's more graphic, more bloody. There is pros and cons to both of these, and this is an extremely hard one for me to do. But I'm going to have to go ahead and say that Jaws is probably going to take it for me. The reason that I go with Jaws on this is because the story is better. Mainly the story, the feel. I like the feel to it. I do think that the kills, the gore, and the interest is more with Deep Blue Sea than Jaws. But overall, I just got to say Jaws. I think it is a classic. There's a reason that it stood up the test of time. It is an enjoyable film. I do recommend it, just as I do Deep Blue Sea. I do think they're both worth watching. But in the end, Jaws is going to take the victory over this one, over Deep Blue Sea. Jaws, to me, is probably the best shark movie. that I've seen thus far. I know there's other ones out there that I haven't had a chance to check out, but yeah, this one is just really amazing. Highly recommended. That pretty much wraps it up for this episode of Versus. Make sure you tune in to the next one, where we'll be discussing two other films that are very similar in some aspect or another way. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below in the box, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Peace.